We're all tied up between Fnatic and Method as we're getting ready for game number 3. In game 2, Fnatic showed their coordination and displayed how exactly they can get kills, even blowing up a Johanna a few times, while Method in game number 1 was able to come back and set the pace to put themselves in game 3 here pretty well. So I'm actually pretty excited as we keep going forward. It looks like we got the best from both teams today.
Yeah, I'm really liking it so far. It's a good series up to this point, a couple of different strategies coming into play, and now we just have to figure out what's going to be the strategy for game number 3. What are we going to see now? Well, we're going to see more variant plays, it's going to be more one-shot, is Fnatic going for a completely different style maybe? So there's still a lot of things to explore. Maps are going to become a huge part, of course, of this as well. And we definitely have a series that could go to could go full distance. We could see 5 maps here.
We could go the distance here. Let's go to game number 3 and see if we can start to get on top of that path to go the distance to game number 5. See which battleground is going to be picked up for our teams. As a reminder, Sky Temple has been banned out, as well as Towers of Doom. The third battleground will be Infernal Shrines, as we'll be moving there. Fnatic with the choice, as Method elects to take first pick.
Yep, and there's your theme. First pick over and over again on the side of Method. Fnatic getting map choice after map choice. Infernal Shrines is their, I want to say, second best map. Maybe the third best map, but it's a map that they really love to play. This is now the 8th time that they actually pick Infernal Shrines. They have played on the map 9 times. They won 6 out of those 9 games. So pretty solid track record here. Whereas Method, if you look at Infernal, is currently at a 4-4, 50% map record, 8 times played. So it's a good map for them. It's not their best map. Fnatic feels at home here. It's a very meta map that we had in Europe for a long time. So both of the teams with a variety of strategies heading into this.
I think Fnatic feeling like they're at home is one of the best ways to describe it there. They have a lot of heroes that are just powerful in this battleground that it's great for the hero pools. You have the Gold Dam that can be wonderful in this battleground. You have Diablo as well. You have Medivh who can force fights in tight corridors that allow for tanks to be more effective. And Fnatic loves to play all those.
Also keep in mind there's another hero that we could see here more so than on any other map, and that's Tychus again.
True.
So with the current meta being as it is, the one hero I'm looking forward to is which priority is Diablo going to have, because I don't think there's no doubt in my mind that Diablo is going to be picked here. As we said before, him and Garrosh, the 2 best tanks that we currently have in HGC Europe, both of them roughly sitting at a 70% win ratio with 25 to 30 games played, which is pretty impressive. And we know that it is a Breeze special, and also we know that he's great on this map. So where is Diablo going to end up? Is it going to be an early pick for Method? Are they going to leave it open for Fnatic? Are we going to see him maybe make it into the second ban phase and then get banned out? That's what we need to keep our eyes on.
And Diablo being that strong in this battleground makes that Tychus pick even more valuable.
Yeah.
Also, Leo becomes someone that can suddenly be thrown into the rotation. In the past, we've seen Zeratul in this battleground as well as way to counter Sonya and also to double wave clear Soak. So we'll have to see what picks do come their way as Medivh gets banned out. And now it's all about the waiting game. Will we get that Diablo in, or is healer still more important? If Diablo instantly gets picked up, Method will not allow Breeze to pick it up.
Yeah, so right away pick on Diablo. Fnatic would have loved to pick the hero, and I just love to have seen Diablo in the meta. He just goes full face, and there's nothing more rewarding than seeing Diablo just crush a Hanzo, a Tracer, any kind of these puny tiny squishies going full Hulk on them.
Puny tiny squishies.
Like, he's going full Loki on them. Hulk and Loki, a little setup in Avengers. That's what Diablo does with them.
Okay, I can see that. I just like how you like puny tiny assassins. These guys that put out 50,000 damage per game. But they're puny tiny encounters.
I think if I would put up a poll and ask which hero do you hate the most in Heroes, which hero do you hate the most playing against, heroes like Tracer, Genji, Hanzo would be pretty far up the list. So yeah they're like.
Okay, all right.
Stukov again. Smexy, he's 7-1 on Stukov, and he wants to add another win to that.
Let's see if he can tally up that win. More curious to see what Method's going to follow up into for their own setup for the Diablo. Do they think they need setup? Because one of the issues that Diablo does have is in that early game, if you're not able to soul stack up, you are squishy. And then, of course, if you get reset on at any point and you move into the late game, you are a target that can be deleted. Also, I want to know how Fnatic intends to handle that level 13 and 16 power spike for Diablo. That's when we see him get powerful. When he gets the 100 stacks, he's able to kind of one-shot those tiny puny heroes into the walls. That's where Diablo becomes insane.
I want I want Tychus back. Like, straight up, I think Tychus, we've seen already a few games where Tychus played against the Diablo, and if the key is lockdown. If you get lockdown against Diablo, and then you can get the entire minigun duration with the bigger they are after level 4 through, Diablo is going to get chunked down fast, and that's what I want to see here. Now, Genji being picked first, and we also have Sonya taken. That gives a lot of shrine control already over to Method, especially around Diablo and Sonya, of course. Between the two of them, they can control any shrine on the map. Fnatic definitely has to react to it, but I think Stukov in particular was the first step towards that goal.
Typically, when you are facing off against Diablo, you want to grab one of the other strong warriors in the mix-up. That Gyarados are able to kind of punish it from going too far, but with Gyarados being banned out, I am curious to see what that warrior is going to be here for Breeze. The ETC could work out, but Sonya with that spear being able to chunk him down to half health right away into a slam is usually a difficult task to deal with. The good news for them is they have that Stukov, which is a support that you typically don't want to play ETC into, so we can see that mix-up. For now, we're thinking about Banzo. Fnatic hovering the Uther over the Malfurion, wanting to make sure that Genji is going to be too decisive in team fights, and also there's no major panic button in case lockdown does come in to lock down Diablo.
Still makes me a bit suspicious.
Yeah?
Because we could see a variant composition again. That's something that we at least keep in the back of our heads. If you force the opponent to go, let's say, or if you leave Malfurion up and it's like, please, take him, then all of a sudden, you know, there's no cleanse, there's no burst
We forgot to ban
damage.
him.
So it's like, yeah, Malfurion, damn, he was still open.
Yeah,
like,
no one plays
silly
a hero.
Like, forgot something here. No, but of course, you talked about the synergy. Genji, Divine Shield, Sonya works well with it. But Uther is also a fantastic tool against any kind of blow-up composition. So we could still see something along those lines. I mean, you can drop a variant into the setup. You can have Tychus then with it. And I would really love to see Tychus right now. But yeah, let's see how Fnatic plays it. Are we going to see the tank already? Or is it something that they keep open for the last slot, just as they did in the last game?
We're thinking here. Any other options that might pop up?
I mean, you have, when it comes to the front line, you still have a couple of options available quite easily for them. You can still play the ETC game, even though I admit I don't really want it here too much, since I feel ETC going up against that front line is going to have a rough time. Off lane is something to be considered. Blaze would be also strong here, a lot of survivability. You can establish your presence even more. You have also the solo lane, where you might not win against Sonya. It's not going to happen, but at the same time, you're not flat out losing it either, where you're just all of a sudden starting to lose towers, so you can still hold your own for a while. But they go into ETC and Thrall. Okay, let's see if Breeze can actually keep that up at the front line. And Thrall picked again. Now, once more, Thrall is currently 1-6 in Europe. So he only today got his first victory in HGC Europe. And after that, in the second game where he was played, he immediately lost again. So let's see if Fnatic can also put one win onto the scoreboard for Thrall.
That's a bad binning Thrall, right?
Has to be. Who else?
Yeah. Well, I was wondering if Mana out of nowhere is starting to play Thrall.
Nah.
Okay. Well, Gul'dan gets taken here. I was wondering about the Gul'dan, but I'm worried, for Fnatic that is. For Diablo, Genji, and Sonya against a Gul'dan is very difficult to play into. But no Mana would be willing to. Do you think we might actually get a kill toss here?
We could. I mean, it's Mana. Fnatic played a fair chunk of Kel'Thas already, and it's one of the maps that helps towards him. I'm just not really sure if I'm in love with the 3-4 that they picked here, with the ETC and Thrall combo. Again, Breeze plays a mean ETC, but every single time I see a Diablo on the other side and we're paired with the Sonya, I think it's just like so scary to go through them. And if you don't have a Tychus, and currently they don't, how do you deal with Diablo? That's my big question right now. And I think their last pick has to address that somehow. That's why I'm not sure if I really want Kel'Thas here. Kel'Thas caters to the map. It caters to Fnatic. They love to play the hero. They're one of the few teams that are willing to put them out. But if you have that setup, how do you deal with Diablo? How do you take him down?
We'll see if Menace for the Tychus he has in the past. Fifth pickup. It's going to be Greymane. Okay. Well, there's one way to deal with it. You still have that Curse Bullet available to you.
Yeah, Greymane taken again, so they can at least work on Diablo once more. They have also Stukov, of course, to rely upon. Still very curious about the Thrall setup here as well.
Yeah, I am interested to see how the Thrall will pay off. I mean, Thrall by himself can be great in terms of poking. He doesn't do too much on the Shrine. He can kind of zap a couple of shots maybe and steal them away.
I would have liked Blaze still.
Yeah.
I think Blaze would have given them a lot here, but they want to be a bit more aggressive with that. And with Thrall, they have Sundering available. Gul'dan, they need to get on Gul'dan here somehow too. It's going to make for an interesting game. I think Method walked away with a very strong draft and something that they feel very comfortable on now, and Fnatic has to break through that somehow.
I think when I watch Bad Bunny play, I think he enjoys playing more of a flanking style more than anything whenever he has a chance to come in for a flanking on the back line. And Thrall in this scenario can do well getting top of that Gul'dan if he's able to by the time then have ETC finally come in. Just a matter of getting that coordination down, and they've had it today. So I'm hesitant, but I'm okay with the Thrall pick, and I want to see how it comes out.
Well, we're going to find out now as we're heading into game number 3 now. Infernal Shrines is up. The series is tied. One of the teams is going to walk away with a slight lead here, and we're going to find out which team that is. Over to the left side, once again, Fnatic with Bad Benny on Thrall. We have Smexy on Stukov, Quacknix on Greyman, of course. We see Breeze on ETC, and Emena on Hanzo.
On the right, Method. Schwimpy playing Genji, Nick on Gul'dan, Thorough on Sonya, Curson on Rhaegar, and Arcaner to play some Diablo here. And we'll see if he can have the impact that we've seen Breeze have on this battleground in the past.
Now after Breeze got slapped around on ETC on our first map here today, Battlefield of Eternity, he's currently sitting at 6 wins on ETC and 6 losses, so a straight up 50% win ratio. And that is surprisingly below the league standard. The league average is at 55 now. So very interesting to see that one of the best ETC players that we have is currently struggling getting the results that he wants on the hero.
Breeze falling apart, man.
Yeah, wouldn't go that far.
Well, we'll see if Breeze will be able to be effective so far on the ETC. Already, he's controlling that bush pretty well on the right, flanking in, scaring the idea of any pressure coming towards Fnatic. But Fnatic is having pressure on their own in the top left, as Thrall is going to be the target. It's been a common occurrence for Method. They've tried to put Bad Benny in a situation where he's constantly behind in his lane. He's been catching on to them and playing safe for each round.
Yeah, and now when we're talking about heroes and about comfort levels, we have to also talk about Quacknix on Greyman again. Like, he had a lot of criticism where people said his hero pool is too low, he needs to really push out more heroes. And one of the reasons is that he always had this massive affinity for Greyman. And Greyman wasn't a meta for a very long time, and no other team, or very few other teams, were as successful as Fnatic with Greyman. The league average on Greyman currently is a 49% win ratio, and when you look at Fnatic, they have an 83% win ratio with 12 games played on Greyman, 10 wins and 2 losses. The only team that is doing better than Fnatic with the hero is Dignitas, who are sitting at 8-0. But of course, the one caveat that we have to throw in when it comes to the Greyman pick is that Greyman has started to fall off in the meta. So we still see Greyman picks, we see them across the world, but not as much anymore as before, where Greyman was just this lock-in pick that you did see in nearly every single game.
Do you think Quack might be part Worgen? Is that why he loved Greyman so much? Like, I look at his face. Oh, hang on here, as we have Sonya deleted here.
Yeah, Quacknix getting the kill here together with Hanzo.
I think he is part Greyman. Part Worgen, dude. He just goes in, gets a kill. He's got that fierceness about him, you know?
Okay, I can already tell you that that's definitely not the case. Keep in mind when we talked about him growing a beard, it's just not happening. So if he was a real Worgen, he would have a proper beard.
Worgens can grow facial hair. That is true. That is actually one of their characteristics as a character.
I mean, I haven't seen his back yet, so maybe it's all just like
that's where all the hair
it's all centered there, but he definitely has no facial hair.
How dare you? How have you not seen his back? You're premier EU caster. What are you doing in your
Where
life?
are those insights?
Speaking of Breeze falling off on ETC, Caldor falling off the casting Morgan. Not looking at characters' backs.
I think I broke him.
Oh, man.
I have to admit, yeah, I've always been told that my laugh is really silly, but yours is just better. Hook scares me completely.
I'm sorry, man.
No, it's awesome.
When I get going, dude, I just can't. I just start
Yeah.
choking on my own laughs. All right, so we have a fight over the shrine here, and Fnatic's actually pretty far ahead. 16-3. Sonya comes in, though, as Method wants to make a stand. Big power slide into a silence, and so far, Sonya not having a good day.
You can't go in like this against the setup that Fnatic is running here. This is the second kill that we see against Sonya, and Thero is just a little bit too far out. The problem is he puts himself in a spot where Fnatic just says, well, if you're inting, we take that kill. Either you go in with your team, or you don't. But if you go in a Sonya alone against a Stukov that simply drops that silence and then Breeze is keeping you exactly in that place, you're not making anything happen. Breeze is already a god when it comes to body blocks, but if all you have to do is go for a power slide and a face melt back into the silence, that's an easy pickup right there. So, yeah, Ethereum needs to go in with a team. And currently they're doing that against Bad Benny, and this is looking a lot more likely to gain results. Down he goes, but Ethereum is in trouble again and goes down. Not having a good game on Sonya here. Third kill against him already.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade, but a Punisher over to Fnatic, and they look to open up this wall and get aggressive. Arcaner a little bit already low in health, about half of that first fight. Gul'dan is the one that actually tanks the engage coming in. And Snick and crew will be able to finally deal with it. But Fnatic looks to get an experience lead as they break down the turrets here in the middle, and won't have to spread out soon to get the experience in the side lanes.
Yep. Also, when it comes to builds, I still want to highlight that Quark actually went still for a cocktail build here. So we have him with perfect aim taken on level 1, and now we're having the Incendiary Elixir on level 7. Don't see that too much anymore. The Eyes in the Dark still on 4, but yeah, normally when you see Greymane builds these days, it's a heavy walk and focus that we're seeing.
I can see it being okay here though. On the minions, the Shrine Control, you're able to get those flashes, be able to get those stacks coming in there. Definitely effective and be able to wave clear. You have Hanzo who can open up fights pretty well. He just wants to play safe in a bag.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the map where Cocktail build was the most dominant, just simply because you got so much value from outside the Shrine already. So not criticizing him for the build here, but it's still interesting to see that he's willing to mix it up a little bit. That being said, when it comes now to experience Fnatic with half a level lead, putting the pressure on the mid lane, but Quacknix, bit far out, ring around the rosy with Diablo, as Breeze comes in and all of a sudden Kirsten is on the run and he's just like, I don't want to be here.
Not feeling that one there. Came in for a totem. Should be had the idea of coming in for a flank, but with the rest of Fnatic showing up, all 5 being here in the middle lane, by the way. I decided to go ahead and back up as that 10 is about to hit for both of our teams. And the more I look at this composition, the more I kind of like it, actually. The Greymane poke between that Cocktail, Thrall as well with his poke, but that the level 7 from Thrall, the Ancestral Wrath, gives him that ability to have that power slide into a silence and burst. Greymane naturally has that damage on that Worgen form that's helpful. That Ancestral Wrath burst is very helpful for Thrall too, and something that you really enjoy having if you're able to stack it. I actually really enjoy this composition.
I mean, the only thing that I really find a bit weird is that so far Ethereum has made it easy. The engages that he had, it's just not what you expect from Ethereum. Like, he's an absolute insane top laner, and he just exposed himself a bit too much in these fights. Not quite sure if the communication wasn't there, if he thought, okay, we're going in, and then all of a sudden he's the only one to really make the move, or if he just didn't have vision enough and overstepped slightly. So around level 10 here, I'm really curious to see if Fnatic can still get the same amount of kills and with the same effect, because I think now there are an insane amount of tools available for Method to counteract that, and I haven't really seen a situation where Fnatic had to break through Diablo.
Yeah. And to be fair on Ethereal, maybe in scrims they're not facing off against a Stukov, because both of those kills were scenarios where if the Sonya was not facing off against a Stokev, you would have just popped the Whirlwind and just kind of rolled away, right? You would have been able to pass for the ETC, you maybe want to heal, but that silence not allowing for that Whirlwind to come in. Just got him poked off. But I don't know, we'll see how it goes in as we head towards that little side. It seems like he's playing a little bit safer now, as he hasn't died in the last 2 minutes, so kudos to him. Props from us.
For not dying in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, man, like, I get props to people sometimes.
What is this?
You just pay it forward, dude.
Oh, we are all winners here. You finish second place, you are a second winner.
Thank you, Caldor. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, I learned a lot from the US. There are no losers in this country.
You picked a hero.
It's
Good
only
job.
Winners. Second winner, third winner, fourth winner. Woo! We are all awesome.
Doesn't matter as long as I got a ribbon. Looks good.
Yeah.
Diablo goes in, looking for an engage, pops on top of the minion, tries to find an ETC, but just barely out of position. And we will start the Shrine phase. Method ahead 7-0. There are Night Camps pushing in the top lane. It looks like Fnatic should get the upper hand out of that if that turret's helping out in the fight.
Fight's ready. Let's go for this. I'm ready. My buddy's ready for that battle. 10 versus 10. The rogue abilities are in play. And we're going to see a bit of action here. Arcana is looking for the angle. Arrow is hitting Jackal. Nothing. Just absolutely getting dodged here. And that's, of course, a cooldown burn. Once again, here comes Diablo. Can they get the kill? Not quite. Moves out. And now the counter aggression is on Thrall. And he goes down. But the mosh pit, baby. There we go. But that's just not enough damage there. You just can't get the kill. Ethereum is moving out of this one. The silence wasn't ready, cooldown wasn't in play, and all of a sudden Fnatic is walking away with their tail between their legs as Method is starting to take control of Punisher number 3.
They're going to get that Punisher, they're going to be able to push in the bottom lane. The best part too is they're able to have Sonya peel off and deal with that top lane of the Night Camp that is pushing in. So Method now in a position to get their own experience lead. They actually allow the Punisher to push to the south, and they put pressure in the middle lane here. So they're looking to hit on all 3 fronts. As Method jumps up and gets that 13.
Now, I have to admit that the pressure play that they put out against Arcana and Diablo was actually more than I expected. And with a slightly differently placed setup around the silence, I think they could have picked up that kill. But then Thrall dying, that of course definitely threw a wrench into the plans of Fnatic there. But still, this is a combo that got a fair share of value out. Even with the mosh pit that then came in, the cooldown would have been ready for a good silence after that with Stukov 2. That would have really helped them to pick up that kill. The problem is without Thrall, they just didn't have the damage at that point
that they were looking for, even trying to get the full fight out. Method does get a full level lead off of that, so that's good for them after they get that fight to come their way. We'll see if Fnatic can up their coordination. Something else to note too is if that we did have the full engage with that Dragon's Arrow, that whiffing on the Gul'dan, if that connected, that was their prime target. If that lands, they would have gotten that kill.
Nah, you're absolutely right. That was definitely a huge part of it. But also the 13 now. Stukov's 13, and there we go. Gul'dan, who exactly? So he's down, and that was a quick kill there, and a lot of this comes back down to the virulent reaction that we have now for Stukov. Arcana, if he loses the souls here, that would also hurt, and that's exactly what happens. Fnatic really getting the aggression in. By the way, minus points to Bad Benny for running the Battle Beast here. I mean, that's just like, that's just ugly.
But it's for Thrall, it's okay.
Stop disagreeing, it's ugly.
But it's okay. It's ugly, but it's okay, you know, it makes sense. Like, Thrall's not handsome. When you look at Thrall, do you think he's handsome?
Thrall, Thrall is he's a prize.
Really? You think Thrall's handsome?
Of course Thrall's handsome.
He's got that buck tooth in the top left corner, like, hanging out.
Dude, he's an orc. For an orc, he is just absolute killer.
I don't know. I was going to go with the whole, like, approach of, like, pets are as beautiful or as ugly as their humans.
Did you just call Thrall a pet?
No. The Battle Beast was a pet. That's what I was going to say. And Thrall and the Beast, they just match in terms of non-attractiveness.
This is a World of Warcraft. That's a mount.
Okay. All right.
And there's a money pick in the game. There's no excuse for riding a Battle Beast.
I think we're in this position where we have to agree to disagree on this, because we can go back and forth all day. I think Thrall isn't attractive. I mean, look at his face in the top left corner. Look at his nose. As a big fight, and they go straight into Rhaegar.
Did you see that? Thundering into arrow into silence, and Rhaegar just went 100 to 0 within half a second.
Jeez.
That's what I want to see. That's amazing. Like, kills like that are so well coordinated. That was just everyone just being absolutely on point. And these are the again, if you look at competitive play, like oftentimes you are thinking, hey, that could happen in any of my games. But you have to realize the margin of error on this level is insanely small. And Rhaegar just missteps for a moment, and all of a sudden you see 2 ults synced up to perfection. And it's an insta-kill. Rhaegar didn't even know what hit him and he was dead already.
Absolutely beautiful there.
Even with a self-cleanse and a self-ancestral, if that was still in the game.
He couldn't have saved himself.
He couldn't have saved himself there.
He would have been silenced.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Fnatic find the kill, but it does not come when a Punisher is up, so they were unable to grab the Shrine. But that's the 3rd time now they have deleted a target, and they continue to do so. Look at the kill, 6-2. Method makes the play for this Arcane Punisher in the top. This is actually one of the most important ones for them. Want to be able to keep that map opening up. Fnatic will have their heroics up soon, and we'll be looking for a fight. And you see Method is completely aware of this. Look at how spread out they are.
Yeah, Method needs to be careful now, but still, in experience, they're still looking strong here. They took the fort at the bot lane, and that's big. Now Breeze is looking again to see if he can maybe start an engage here. They're taking control over the Shrine. Again, that's a big one too, of course, since it is an Arcane Punisher. But the question still remains, who's going to pick it up? Pretty even so far. Arcana currently sitting at 45 souls, so he's currently at 50%. Oh, and there comes the play, the silence again! And Fnatic with the insta-kills against the Smorks, taking down Gul'dan, taking down Rhaegar. Goodbye, Diablo. Was nice knowing you. And Aethero Angel is just sitting there and saying like, okay, boys, if you die, I'm going to join you because peer pressure.
Mana's got a laser on this bow and arrow. It's actually unfair. Look at this. Sets up for the fight, sees Gul'dan here on the bottom, saw that he actually already pocked here, goes in straight for the combo, lands it perfectly. There's the ET Scout slide. Before the mosh pit can even go off, Gul'dan is dead.
It's just awesome. I mean, sorry, but this coordination right now to watch that is fantastic. I am loving this. And Mena, yeah, he has a magnet attached to that arrow for sure. And he is hitting hard. I mean, at this point, Fnatic is just picking up the kills wherever they want them. This is really great play here. And I was really scared for Fnatic for a long time. If you look at the setup that Method is running, it's a really strong setup. You have the Horrify, you have Gul'dan that chunks away. The front line is strong as well, but they are just not getting anything done here. And just talking a bit about also quest talents, at this point when we look at Ruinous Affliction, can't even benefit from an Echoed Corruption because we only have 28 stacks on Nick. Nick just doesn't get the stacks in. And he's under so much pressure that he's even afraid to move up, and for good reason. We've seen why.
Part of me wonders if we should have Kirsten play further back, because he's been hitting 2 of these arrows here on the side, so maybe just sit a little bit further behind Gul'dan and get that cleanse out. But I'm actually wondering if they'll even be able to save him with the cleanse. It's just so difficult right now. The coordination's just too crisp.
He already threw the cleanse out against Arcana, and you can't blame him. But Diablo nearly falling, gets the Ancestral, but he's still barely walking away from this. Breeze, on the other hand, he falls. Try to go in for the kill. Great job keeping Diablo alive through all of this, but at that point, Kirsten really had to burn everything he had to make it happen.
There wasn't more, though.
The keep actually survives.
Arcana flanking. Here he comes. Melee on the side. There goes the Apocalypse into the combo against the wall. Method able to get 2 kills, and they're doing it again. Method, when it comes to late game, they always find a way to stay in the game.
Tim, again, did you check the keep? It's
alive.
Still there.
Yeah, it's just sitting
there.
They
actually still hold the keep.
It's a ghost, but it's still there.
There are no catapults on the map now because of that thing. That's actually crazy. The keep has 400 hit points out of 17,000. That's what we're talking about now. So anything could have basically taken that thing apart. And yeah, Fnatic has played a fantastic game. They're getting kills whenever they wanted them. And now they're looking at a setup where they haven't really accomplished anything.
To be fair, Fnatic was looking to end the game there. They were looking for the aggressive play to find a target and kill them, and then just push through that keep and get forward. Afterwards, they realized, okay, we lost HGC, maybe we can get this keep. But you're right, with it all said and done, hindsight in 2020, Fnatic has not gotten that keep. Method's still in the game, and they're also even on experience. 19.5 about to hit for both of our teams, and we're going to another Punisher, baby. We're going to hit level 20, and we're going to go in.
Yeah, well, 20 is going to be a lot of fun here. And I mean, the 16 talents alone already, of course, put us in a spot where especially Diablo needs to be more careful, since we now have Alpha Killer taken as the level 16 talent for Quacknix. And I mean, the damage output really reflects that too. 31k on Hanzo, 25k on Greymane, we have 27k on Gul'dan. And we've been talking about Gul'dan not completing his quest yet, but he's sitting at 34 stacks.
Yeah, he got a lot there in the last fight.
Once he has those, it's going to, of course, increase his damage output even more as well.
Is Method going to win this game?
I mean, we're not there just yet. So far, Method is still behind. They're still slightly behind in this, and this is mostly because the keep at the top lane is so low. So later on, it should be able to take that down pretty easily. Put a little bit of pressure on the top lane and should be able to take it down. But it's fairly even in experience and everything else, so it comes down to the team fights again. And the big question that we have with that is, did the 20 talent for Method give them a power spike that is big enough to overcome the dominance that Fnatic has put into the fights up to this point?
What I like so far about Method is making sure that there is no way that Fnatic snites that keep in the top. They got the top lane pushed in. They dealt with the middle and the bottom lane at the same time. Diablo stepping forward, finds a bad Bay on the left, goes in for the combo. Will toss him aside. Here's a power slide into a combo from Fnatic. But Arcana is able to bolt out and also get the Ancestral healing. Here comes Swimpy with the Dragon Blade looking for a kill, but everyone's able to disengage.
Everybody is able to disengage, but Diablo barely got out of this. That was actually scary. I thought he was dead already.
Yeah, I thought we were on low settings. I thought he just blew up. Like, that's what I thought for a second. I was like, oh, apparently we're on low settings today. Okay, then.
Yeah, that was scary. It was a really scary moment there. A lot of cooldowns once again burned, and that's, of course, now a setup in which Method already has a bit of an earlier shot at that shrine and is trying to take it. But Fnatic is on the move now, and they will play around the silence again on Stukov. So we still have the gems there. Sorry, we still have the souls for Arcana, and both are looking for, again, the same setup. Here we go, and it's again Diablo. He's in trouble, and this time he's not going to get away from it. Diablo is down. He had the souls. He's going to come back. Good shove against Shrimpy in the back, and it's the mosh pit, baby. They're going for it, and that should be the end of Kirsten. Kirsten has no chance to move out of this one. He goes down. That's the kill they needed. Diablo without souls, 60 seconds on Rhaegar, and that is another Punisher.
That is another Punisher. Fnatic will be looking to push down the middle lane and probably grab 2 keeps out of this. Can maybe look for a core if they're able to get a kill as well, as we are starting to head towards that late game. There will be a Horrify up and available, and APOC should be up soon too. So I think Method should have the defense, but Fnatic finding those kills. Diablo had no option there to get out, as it looks like Smexy continues to deliver kills for his team.
And this is one of those moments, if you can't go for core, then the least you should get out of this is 2 keeps. The one in the middle and the one at the top. Those are the 2 things. And they're already going through the sidewall. They know that without Rhaegar being there, there's nothing Method can do. Method has to back off. They can't risk of getting close enough to Breeze. Arrow is missing, but still, this is the moment where Fnatic should just simply move to the top and at least take down that second keep if they don't make another big play for core. Breeze is in trouble though, and can he portal out? Oh, he doesn't have the cooldown ready. And he survives barely. And no, Diablo dies. Method is losing the front line. And now the core is wide open.
Bad Benny able to find that Sunder. The Punisher continues to keep jumping in. Kirsten's finally here so he can keep his teammates alive, and he is popping out a few heals, but Breeze has a power slide available, maybe looking for another kill. Fnatic decides, okay, we got a Diablo, we've taken him out, that should be enough for now. Only thing they didn't do was grab that keep at the top left. And now they're remembering, wait a minute, there's a keep we can go take over there. They grab the Chain Lightning, and now they're posturing for a core.
They're looking for the core. They have another 37 seconds, and that should really be enough to put the pressure on. They're looking for the kill now, of course, as well. If they get a slide, that's all they need. And there it is. Power slide, they go for Sonya, Ancestral comes out, keeping Aethero alive for now. Shrimpy goes in, wants the kill, goes for Quacknix, doesn't get him, and they back off for now. But 2 keeps is big, and they're still posturing. They still know that they have a window, as Diablo is not here yet.
They keep bringing out the heals here. Breeze looking for a bit of a power slide. There it is. He goes in for Sonya. Sonya turns around, looks at Quacknix, puts him low on health. The Mosh Pit has connected with 2 on the back line. Genji is low, so is Rhaegar. Kirsten trying to stay alive, but it's just not enough. Thorough and Nick are the only 2 here. Diablo will be up soon, but I don't know if Nick will still be alive.
Nice shot that we are seeing there. 70%. They could be able to survive this just for now. Arcana goes in and buys a little bit of time, but 3 heroes are down. It's a good defense with 2, but Arcana is falling, and that's the kill. 17 kills against 5. Arcana is also low. Aethero is just the one lone survivor as the core is being attacked. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Fnatic taking the lead in our series here. Winning it on Infernal Shrines, taking the victory and taking the lead.
It has to feel bad to be Arcana there in the last couple of minutes, man. He died 3 times in the last 3 minutes, trying to save his team, trying to stay in there. But Method not able to hold on. The coordination for Fnatic being a bit too much, but boy, what a back and forth game between those 2. It's going to be more excited for game number 4, and now I'm kind of hoping that Method can win in game 4 so we can go to game 5.
Is the time to ban Stukov? Or take him away?
Yeah.
Smexy's now 8-1. On Stukov. Like, he is just destroying on that hero. And you can tell that with Stukov in play, Greymane is such an... all of a sudden, he's that appealing option again. And Quacknix, I mean, he just knows how to play that hero. You can talk about his hero pool all day long, but if you give him Greymane, he knows exactly how to play it.
Yeah, he follows up with Cursed Bullets, he finds the kills. There were many times where you were looking at Diablo, he would just get rooted, and next thing you know, he was down to 50% health and continuing to fall. The many kills coming after that Diablo, who just could not stay alive, despite Rhaegar doing his best to bring out the cleanses and also follow up with his Ancestor Healings. The Silence and Greymane combo, just a little bit too much. And I think you kind of nailed on the head there. Something has to happen for Stukov here. He needs to stop going to Fnatic.
Exactly. And so far, things are looking really good for Fnatic. A lot of aggression coming out in this 3rd game, taking the lead now. So they are on match point. And we talked about how important this weekend is for them. They go up against the direct competition. They want to go to the mid-season brawl. And if they now take down Method, that would be, of course, a first very important step. And it's going to be super interesting to not only see can they take down Method, but can they continue with the momentum throughout the weekend?
While we continue to look at future steps here, let's go ahead and look at future matches for our teams as we continue to move towards the MSB, which will be, gosh, in a couple of months, but we only have a couple more weeks of play here in the season before we move into the playoffs. Here for Fnatic, look at how decisive their matches have been when they have won. 3-0s, multiple here, a couple of 3-1s in the mix as well, but their next 4 matchups. Today, hitting against Method. Next will be against Zealots, who is a big contender still here in the HGC. Left over the team that they should be able to beat pretty handedly. And then Team Liquid, who has shown some spice as of late.
And I have to admit that I have a little bit of an extra grind with our audience here today. Apparently they're a little bit slow here with the action, guys. Hashtag HGC. Let us know a bit about your thoughts. What do you think about the series?
Yeah, it's also if Thrall's ugly or not. That's a conversation. I don't understand why you're not like a buzz on Twitter. That's like the biggest topic of today.
Okay.
What is our audience doing? I'm actually a bit disappointed right now. Like, I'm about to get edgy on you. You don't want edgy trick.
No, that's actually exactly what we want because
Okay.
it's super funny.
I am just so mad at you, I could throw a cupcake at your face, and I won't even wipe the whipped cream off. That's how upset I will be.
Where's
if
my
you don't send
single
tweets in.
for that rand? That's a rand that deserves a single.
I'm
and we
staring
didn't
right
get
there,
that.
man. I can't pull out that rand again, man. That took a lot out of me. I need a nap, dude. Like, holy